I did
Yeah.
have one other question about gifting.
Hmm.
I think gifting cryptocurrency is similar to gifting other types of
Any
assets.
other asset, yeah, it's similar.
And what are those amounts look like? It's like I've heard $5,000 or something.
Oh no, I think this year it's and honestly, I don't track it in my head. I always look it up, but I think this year for 2021, you can gift $14,000 to anyone, your kids, a family member, somebody you're not even related to, and you can split the gift with a spouse if you're married. So,
Okay.
so if you think gifting is an option for you, I think it's a great plan to give $28,000 for a spouse and you to each one of your kids every year, and that goes gift and estate tax free. Now, if you gift more, which you can, as long as you don't have an estate that's, really, really large, and the estate tax exemption rises and falls literally almost every year, depending on the feelings in Congress and how much they want to tax estates. But as long as you don't have a huge amount in your estate, you can probably still gift it and have it somehow, go out gift tax free. But then if in later you suddenly increase the value of your estate, then it might become more of an event at the end of your life when they're taxing your estate. Of course, I tell people at the end of your life, what do you care what the estate pays, right? But that's the whole point of gifting, is you're moving it out of your estate in a really wise fashion and gifting it to your children. There are other or family members. There are other strategies for transferring assets to your family members too. For example, I think if you have a proprietorship, it's a great idea to have your kids work for you, and there are ways to even pay them a reasonable wage, which is high. For example, have them be your social media consultant and do things for you on Facebook and YouTube. Social media consultants tend to be a higher paid individual than the person that's just taking out your trash and vacuuming your carpet.
Right.
And as long as you're under the filing minimums, you don't have to pay withholding taxes or payroll taxes, and the kids can, use the money to buy their clothes, pay for their summer camps or whatever, or and here's a great plan, stick it in a Roth IRA, because if they're under the filing minimums,
Oh yeah.
then they can stick all that money in a Roth IRA and start to see it grow into something that has, great value by the time they hit 18, 19, 20.
Sure.
So again, just another plug for a Roth IRA.
Yeah, excellent.
But I think gifting is a great strategy if you have assets, and it's just the fair market value on the date of the assets. So,
Okay.
but about 28,000 if you're a married couple and you split the gift, 14,000 if you're just doing it as an individual per year,
Okay.
and per donee too. So every child gets 28,000 from a married couple. And then you can add that 28,000 to your parents individually, each one.
That's quite a bit.
Exactly. So you can give away $1 million a year without any problems, as long as it's only 28,000 per recipient.
Oh. And is it safe to say that that's not going to look strange on if you're making $200,000 and you gift $150,000 away? I don't know.
Well, first of all, you won't have a gift tax return filing requirement as long as you're staying under the minimums. You're going to be just fine.
Oh.
So no, I don't think it looks weird at all. But
that's really cool.
An IRS employee might come in and argue with me, but there are a lot of things where people say, well, this will trigger an audit or that'll trigger an audit. Well, the fact of the matter is, if you're obeying the laws, who cares if you
legitimate?
Who cares if you have an audit?
Sure.
I've had audits that are open and shut in 2 or 3 weeks because there was no change, So I don't get bent out of shape over audits. Of course, I don't want my clients to have audits because it's just an administrative burden. But I wouldn't worry about audits as suddenly increasing tax as long as you're doing things right. And does it attract attention? I think if you're gifting lots of money and not, putting it on a gift tax return, so you're giving $100,000 to a kid and you're not filing a tax return, that might attract some attention. But if you're staying under the minimums, you should be just fine.
Yeah, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good. That provides some good clarity. Appreciate that.
Do your kids suddenly get a gift this year?
well, and what do you do with that? I guess you create a bank account for the kids and their name and put the money in?
Yeah, you can even just create a wallet or an account on Coinbase or something and do it that way. But
And then as the
You just want to make sure
guardian,
that you complete the gift. Yeah.
you've got to spend. It's got to. I mean, it's their money, but you can pay for.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, it's their money, but they can pay for the things they want. Like in our family, we buy their food and their clothes and stuff. But if they want something, like a great mobile
like a car
phone or an
yeah.
iPhone or something, well, that's on them, right?
Right.
So
Sure.
I think it's a great way to help kids start to learn to manage their money, because that's one thing I see a lot is that a lot of kids have no clue how taxes work, how to manage money, how to spend things other than, think about this. When kids get money, a lot of times they go and they spend it on, 50-pound bag of Cheetos and candy.
Yeah.
And, all the things they want, but learning to spend it on things they need is also important, because then they understand the relative value of wants and needs. And I don't think we're educating our kids properly. Most of them think of money as, hey, I can go blow it on all the extras.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's what
really
we're
true.
conditioning kids to do. Once they hit 18, I can go blow it on all the extras when they're neglecting rent and food and other things.
Absolutely.
So.